State of emergency just declared in Kentucky by the governor, so everyone is asked to stay off the roads.
Long list of schools in our area have already called off for tomorrow. You can find those going across the bottom of the screen right now. You can find them on our website. Among those, Hardin County, Grayson County, Hart County, Marion, Meade, Oldham, Shelby. JCPS just announced that it's closed for tomorrow. Jefferson County Catholic schools. After JCPS and Jefferson County Catholic go, usually the other dominoes start to fall. So you may be seeing a lot more school closing announcements coming in here pretty soon.
And we will be staying with you until 5 o'clock, so don't change the channel. We'll keep you updated, and those closings will continue to come in, as you mentioned. So keep it here, and we'll keep you updated on the weather, the road conditions, and the school closings. We have crews across our area from southern Indiana to Elizabethtown, and they'll be giving us updates in the next few minutes to let you know what you can expect if you do have to get out tonight. But again, Governor Beshear in Kentucky has declared a state of emergency. Stay off the roads unless you absolutely have to be out. Stay with us. We are going to continue our coverage right now. Thanks for being with us. We just heard from city leaders about 30 minutes ago, their latest news conference to update us on the winter storm, how they're handling it. Although it doesn't look like things have made much progress, crews have been out plowing, and the snow's just been coming down as quickly as they can get out to try to get it taken care of. Crews will continue to stay out on the roads 24 hours a day. So you're asked to stay off the roads to help them do their job better and to keep yourself safe.
You're looking at the Watersend Expressway right now, and this snow, fortunately, the worst of it is already behind us. But how much more is there going to be, and how cold is it going to get? We go to Chief Meteorologist Mark Weinberg for a look at what's happening out there. Mark?
Well, we've had a real rough day. I mean, a really rough day. This was a significant snow across our area. The highest total that I have seen thus far out of our area, an official number, is 11.5 inches from Buffalo, Kentucky, and some are going to get close to 15. And this is a monster snow for our area. And a lot of times when we get monster snows in our area, what we see is brutal cold afterward. For what it's worth, the record low temperatures on Thursday and Friday are 0. And I think we're going to break those records. Actually, let me rephrase that. Not only are we going to break those records, I think we're going to thrash those records on Thursday and Friday. It is a thing that's impressive when you break a record by a degree or two, because we've been keeping these for about 130 years. But it is very, very rare that you break records by almost double digits. I think that's on the table. Until 1 a.m. we have a winter storm warning, covers every single county in our area. You know, I think the question is now, anything left? How much more am I going to see? Well, let's actually go through that and answer that question. We do still have snow in our area. Where do we have the snow? Well, we've got snow that's steady now from Jasper, Mitchell, Bedford, Owen. And this area is probably going to get, let's say, another inch or inch and a half on top of what you have. What you'll notice is in Louisville, not quite as heavy, but you go into the southern side of Louisville and cross over into Bullitt County. And in this area, we've had an enhanced snow band coming through West Point. So this means Shepherdsville, Mount Washington, Lebanon Junction. And interestingly enough, we've got reports in that area of close to 9 inches of snow, including Vine Grove. So Bullitt County through South Jefferson County, some totals are as high as 9 inches. E-Town, you're not done yet. Show's not over, 65. Heavy snow continues from E-Town through Munfordville. I can tell you, when I drove into work today, and I have a four-wheel drive vehicle, I was white-knuckled. I mean, it is a very, very challenging drive out there, as I think everybody here will kind of reiterate. Columbia, you're still looking at snow, and I think the southern part of our area, Munfordville, Greensburg, Columbia, Campbellsville, you've got another maybe 2 or 3 inches of snow. Munfordville closer to 1 before this comes to an end. And Mackville still continuing to see snow. I think with your snow lasting a little bit longer, I think you have another 1 to 3 inches still here. Louisville, we're watching this little area, and data's showing that it's starting to fill in on the backside. Notice coming down 64. For Louisville, I think we could see up to about another 1 inch of snow. So how much has this meant for the area? All good questions. Louisville's generally measuring between around 7 and 11 inches right now. As you know, if you've lived in the city, the numbers can range a wide range across the city. The little lull and low spot looks like it has occurred from around Prospect, Goshen, through around LaGrange, where the numbers are about 5 or 6 inches. And then we've got totals here from Seymour 4, but Bedford got in a band last night and got up to 7 inches. Paoli's 3, again, one of those weird spots. Tell City's 8 inches. Madison, you're sitting on 5 inches of snow right now. E-Town around 11. The big winner so far has been Buffalo, Kentucky at 11.5. Litchfield measuring 10.5 to 11. I've got 11 for you in Radcliffe and Big Clifty. I'm seeing 9 on the ground so far in Campbellsville and 7 from Frankfort. So, cool, cold, yeah, we're staying this way. This isn't going anywhere. My encouragement to you is this. I don't like shoveling snow. I actually hate shoveling snow. I shoveled my driveway this afternoon. As cold as it is right now, my encouragement to you is get out there, bundle up, dress in layers, tough it out, and shovel it. And the reason is it's going to be so cold in the next couple of days that this could become a rock of ice on your driveway, and it's not worth that hassle. I'm going to talk about when we're going to go to 8 below 0 with a wind chill of potentially 30 below 0 in about 10 minutes.
Hate to hear it. It's a terrible combination after all this snow. Thank you, Mark. Well, the number of stranded motorists who did venture out today through the roof, but as much as 47% of local roads are cleared.
That is the word from Louisville city leaders tonight. WDRB's Gilbert Corsi was there for a press conference that just wrapped up at MetroSafe. Gilbert, what's the situation?
Just wrapping about 10 minutes ago, guys. I'm standing in Louisville's Emergency Operations Center, called the EOC. From here, it's like the snow hub. There are 70 eyes on the city in the form of cameras throughout Louisville. You can look, and it's a really telling picture here at the 2nd Street Bridge. That's the picture that you're looking at. Imagine 4 o'clock on any other day. How many cars would be there? It's a ghost town. There's nobody there. From here, emergency workers are watching water main breaks, wrecks, what roads need to be plowed. Again, this is the snow hub. Again, that briefing just wrapped in the last 20 minutes or so. We heard from Public Works, we heard from police, we heard from fire, we heard from EMS, and we heard from schools. The big headline, no school tomorrow in Louisville, both for JCPS and Catholic schools. Officials deciding roads and walkways and bus stops will just be too cold, too dangerous for the kiddos.
Our plan is to spend tomorrow clearing school sidewalks and parking lots, as well as bus compounds. So JCPS will have a total after tomorrow of 3 snow days. The makeup days are February 27th, April 2nd, and April 3rd. And I'd like to say to all of our students, read something.
I want to touch on traffic very quickly here. You heard 47% of the roads have been cleared. You can see this picture on Louisville KY's, the City of Louisville's website, louisvilleky.gov. Everything in green here has been salted. Everything in purple, salted and plowed. The goal is to turn all the green into purple, and I'm told that that's going to happen by 7 o'clock tonight. I know there is a shift change coming on, and 130 more workers are going to be working overnight to make sure what's green turns purple, and repeating the process again. That's it from here in the Emergency Operations Center. I do want to go to the other side of the river. My colleague Emily Muir is standing by in southern Indiana. Emily?
Hi, Gilbert. I'm standing at Highlander Point in Floyd's Knobs. I want you to take a look behind me. It's pretty quiet here. You're looking at Highway 150. Usually there would be a lot more cars. There aren't many today, which is good because I just talked to the Floyd County Sheriff. They are under a travel restriction. That means only if you have an emergency should you be on the roads. He told me that they have responded to 12 slide-offs today as of 6 o'clock this morning. I just spoke with him. He said they had 6 more this afternoon. And I talked to a trooper with Indiana State Police, and they have responded to 18 slide-offs today. So they were telling me how right now the roads are snow covered, but that once those temperatures drop, they are going to get very, very slick. So be very careful. Also, I want to mention here at Highlander Point, a lot of the businesses are closed. Really, the only businesses that are open is the gas station and the JC and the Dairy Queen. So a lot of them are closed for today. I'm sure some of them will try to reopen tomorrow, but only go out if you have an emergency. Now let's check in with WDRB's Lawrence Smith in Okolona.
Well, Emily, I heard you say that traffic volume was low where you are in Indiana. Just the opposite here in the Okolona area. I'm on Preston's Highway and the outer loop, and traffic has been steady all day long on what is a snow-packed road. You can see there, it's not for lack of trying, believe me. The snow crews have been here, but the snow has been coming at such a steady rate that they have not been able to keep up with the snow. When you see cars coming through here seconds ago, one sliding, my advice to you is this, and you've heard this, if you don't have to be out here, don't, because especially as the sun goes down, what sun there is, and it gets darker, it's going to be even more dangerous and treacherous out here because you won't be able to see. Also, remember, if you are in your car and you think there's a good distance between you, think again, because these roads are so slick, you can easily slide into someone without even realizing it, and you'll be in trouble. There's one big difference I noticed between this snowstorm and the ones that I covered back in the 1990s, and that is the traffic. I recall the streets being nearly deserted in those snowstorms, but for whatever reason, cars are out in this one, even though many businesses around here are closed. So if you don't have to go be out, please stay at home, stay safe with your family. If you're on these roads, go slowly, watch for the other guy, really keep a safe distance between you, and you'll get to where you're going. But these roads, I can tell you, are very slick and hazardous because the snow is coming down so fast, the crews cannot keep up with them. David, Elizabeth, back to you.
Thank you, Lawrence, for the situation in Okolona. And we also have our roving camera out. You can see it here on the screen next to us. It is on the Gene Snyder heading southbound, and many of the highways, as you can see, are snow covered. We are seeing problems on interstates on both sides of the river from southern Indiana south to Elizabethtown.
Andrea Clifford with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet on the phone right now to let us know what drivers can expect and where we're seeing the biggest problems. And Andrea, right now we're seeing some video, a live picture of the Snyder that's showing some pavement. We came into work about 2 o'clock. There was snow everywhere. Is there improvement going on out there, or are these just the good spots?
Oh, my goodness. I'm excited to hear that. Really, we have been working all day, and crews are plowing off. They've been doing a lot of plowing this afternoon, so there might be some areas where you see a little bit of pavement so that the snow continues to come down, and that's going to get covered up quickly. During the rush hour, starting right now at 4, we're going to salt through about 7 o'clock tonight because the traffic actually helps work that salt into the precipitation and melt it. Because after 7 o'clock, we're going back to plowing only. 1, because we won't have much traffic out there to help with the friction for the chemicals. And 2, when we get down in these single digits tonight, the de-icing chemicals really aren't very effective at all.
Andrea, we understand Governor Beshear just declared a state of emergency in the last few minutes, asking people to stay off the roads. What else does that mean as far as this situation is concerned?
Well, that also, means that if we need assistance through the National Guard and other agencies, that we can ask for that. We're still trying to, work to clear the roadways, and hopefully tomorrow when we get up in the 20s, the de-icing chemicals will help and we can start getting to that bare pavement.
So crews will just stay on top of it as best they can. The snow is going to be slowing down later this evening, so we know you all are working at it and doing your best.
We'll be working around the clock tonight.
Andrea Clifford with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, thank you so much. If you do have to be out, of course you're asked to stay off the roads, but if you do have to be out, you're asked to take it very slow.
That includes WDRB's Courtney Godfrey telling us to do that as well. She's live in Elizabethtown. Courtney, what are you seeing on the roads there? Is there a lot of improvement going on? We're seeing maybe some pavement?
Snow has lightened up a bit, but it's still bad out here. You want to talk about driving slow. In a lot of cases, that won't even help you because the snow is just so deep. Our news car, we've got four-wheel drive when we've been stuck several times. In fact, I have pushed not 1, but 3 cars today. Just a few minutes ago, we saw a semi getting towed along this main road in E-Town. And if you'll take a look behind me here, there's another semi that's stuck. That's happening a lot on that off-ramp from I-65 because it's on an incline and they're having trouble climbing that. Same thing happening on I-65. KSP for a short while shut down in between mile marker 94 and 102. It's moving now, but they said there are just so many cars going off the road there because it's an incline and the cars are sliding off. Now, KSP says they have all hands on deck today because there are just so many cars going off the road. By 1 p.m., KSP told me that they had responded to 100 vehicles off the road. My photographer here, Dave, and I will be spending the night in E-Town because it's just too dangerous to try and come home to Louisville. So please do the same. If you do not need to leave your house, please do not. If you take a look at the roads out here in E-Town, they're plowing as much as they possibly can, but it is still white. You cannot see any asphalt. So please, if you can, just don't leave your home today. Reporting live from E-Town, Courtney Godfrey, WDRB News.
Have you seen enough snow? Are you done with it? Well, unfortunately, Mother Nature says no. I think we're going to see more snow on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and I think again this weekend there's an opportunity. I think light accumulations on the table. How much to expect coming up?
As snow continues to fall, some tree limbs and power lines may get weighted down. Report any outages or down lines to LG&E at 589-1444.
Taking a live look outside right now in southern Indiana, where we continue to see roads that are really, really difficult. Mike's prepping up. He'll have a look at your road conditions here in a little bit. But you can see we still have this winter storm warning. Covers our whole area. This warning is going to stay in effect until 1 a.m. Now, the National Weather Service sometimes can cut these guys off a little bit short. We'll see. But you can see the scope of this storm. I mean, goes to the west through St. Louis and then right off the east coast. So this is a large storm system impacting a huge area. Snowfall totals here, we'll continue to update these through the evening here. Louisville's generally what we're seeing is about 6 to 10 inches. Elizabethtown, we've seen an 11-inch total. I've seen some totals as high as 11.5, and we're going to go over a foot in some areas. It's a big one. It really is a huge snow. This was my favorite picture of the day. This gentleman decided to really get out and enjoy the snow. He's actually doing some cross-country skiing there on the sidewalk. I thought it was a cool picture submitted on the WDRB weather app. Bill Clark sent this picture out of Hart County. There's the 11-inch. It's still snowing. Bill, you're going to come very, very close to a foot of snow. This one's going to be a legend for Southern Kentucky. People remember this one for a long, long time. 2004, you know, one of the things that got mentioned to me last night is when we kind of showed the list, remember, Southern Indiana got absolutely hammered with one of the great storms of the generation where there were 30 to 40-inch snow in the southern part of Indiana. For Louisville, it was not near as much. This one is going to compare close for some parts of Louisville to what we saw in 2008, 2004, but not as much as what we saw in 1998. Now, we still have snow outside right now, locations. Well, we've got this band of snow continuing right now. It goes from Bedford through around Seymour, through Owen, through North Vernon, and this one's a moderate burst here, so this is probably going to drop for you another inch or two. In Louisville, we're generally looking at light stuff, but as we go to the southern part of the county, this includes Fern Creek and then crossover into Bullitt County, Mount Washington, Lebanon Junction, Shepherdsville. You're getting good snow. Starting finally to wind down for you in Litchfield. You've done well. You've done near a foot of snow. Magnolia through Greensburg, through Columbia. We're continuing with moderate snow. I think you've got a couple more inches potential for you. Springfield through Harrodsburg, continuing here. And then putting it into motion here, when you look at the scope of things, we've got this little band on the backside, and what you'll notice is this goes into the southern part of Illinois, and it's coming right down 64. So I think Louisville, this is what we'll see here as we go through the evening. Any more accumulations? I think we could catch maybe an inch or so more. 16 degrees right now. We continue with the snow showers outside, and our feels-like temperature is 2 degrees. The area, it is simple. It's cold. Almost all of our temperatures are in the mid-teens, and as we look at advanced track stopping at 6 and at 7, you can see it starts to wind down. Now let's start to talk about another issue. Advanced track shows at 7 a.m. in Louisville, 1. It shows in Campbellsville and E-Town, 2, below 0. You start to see snow showers, again, increasing late tomorrow. So tomorrow night, Wednesday, we've got another powerhouse front, and I think accumulations are on the table for that one. For this storm, let me just show you the updated numbers here. The 3 to 6 going into the northern part of our area. I've got this 6 to 10 snaking right along the river through Louisville. We've got the highest totals of 10 to 15 inches of snow areas like E-Town, south through around Campbellsville. So tonight our low temperature is going to come in around 4 degrees. It's going to be cold, but I think you go south of Louisville and these numbers are going to be even worse than that. Some could go below 0. Tomorrow afternoon, our high comes in at 26 degrees, and here's where things go from bad to worse. 12 degrees on Wednesday with a 60% chance of snow showers and 7 below 0 on Thursday. Jeremy Kappel's outside. Jeremy, it's cold outside right now, but you know what? When we're talking about 7 below 0, thrashing records by 7 to 10 degrees, it's going to get a lot worse.
I tell you what, we have a lot to look forward to, or perhaps we don't, Mark. As you mentioned, though, very cold out here, and that's one of the key ingredients going forward. Although the bulk of the snow is done falling, now is your opportunity to do some removal. Hopefully you've got a snow shovel. Hopefully you've got some rock salt, or perhaps one better, some calcium chloride, because it works at lower temperatures. I spread some out on the patio here just a little while earlier. It is doing its job. Calcium chloride is the way to go if you can get a hold of some. Also keep in mind that with freezing temperatures and refreezing overnight tonight and then in the nights to come, it's going to make it worse getting rid of the snow. So now is your opportunity. Since we're pretty much done with the accumulations, I'd suggest go out there right now. Unfortunately, I know it's work, but go ahead and take this opportunity. Remove that snow, because you don't want to have to do this tomorrow or worse later in the week when those temperatures do tumble below freezing or make that below the 0 degree mark. So anyway, now's your opportunity to clean up that driveway of yours. Speaking of the roadways, let's turn it over to Mike Marshall. Mike, I imagine it's a pretty slow go of it, huh?
It is. I was out about 2 o'clock, 2:30 out on the interstate 64. I was doing about 40 miles per hour, and I thought I was motoring along. But, you know, you're going to be out. If you have to be out, you're going to be running very slowly out on the interstates. I want to take a look around the area. This is 64 out near the Shelby County line, and you can see pretty much the interstate is snow covered. Here's 71 coming out of Oldham County, and you can see the Trimark sign there, and you can see a car off to the side of the roadway. But it looks like we've had some plows come through here recently. At least we can see pavement in this area. And then we'll take a look over in southern Indiana. This is 131 as you're coming in through Clarksville. And then I want to get over into New Albany. We'll take a look at 64. This is right at Spring Street, just before this Sherman-Mitten Bridge. And it looks like pretty much on the one of the lanes there, the eastbound lanes, we have a little bit more snow covering those roadways. But it looks like a plow may have been through here recently, even got that ramp there to Spring Street. So if you have to be out, you're going to need extra time and a lot of caution this afternoon. From the Oxmoor Auto Group Traffic Center, I'm Mike Marshall with Beat the Traffic.
I'm Emily Muir, live in Floyd County. I'll show you current travel conditions, and I'll tell you about the travel advisory currently underway.
And we're taking a live look right now at 64 at Hurstbourne. Looking a little bit better out there. Our roving camera moving along a little bit faster as conditions continue to improve. Live look right now at 64 westbound near the Watterson as conditions continue to slightly improve, but still drivers advised to not go out on those roads if they don't need to. Now, the snow has also forced many cancellations and delays at Louisville International Airport today.
You can check the status of your flight by airline and time slot. Here's a look at their site. This site lists the flights in 3-hour increments to make it easy, including departures and arrival times. Crews at the airport are keeping the runways clear, but they say the airlines have the choice to cancel flights. And there's a link to that airport site on WDRB.com. Right now, just click on the button.
And you can be the first to get the latest information regarding weather alerts and school closings with our SnowFox text alerts. To sign up, just go to WDRB.com and click on weather. Then find SnowFox text alerts. From there, fill in your information, choose which alerts you'd like to receive, and hit save. You'll then get a confirmation text that you signed up successfully.
While the snow has been coming down all day today, many of you have turned to social media to show off what you're seeing.
You saw some of those from Mark earlier with the person snow skiing out there. WDRB's Tamara Evans gives us a look at some of the other photos we've been getting today. Tamara.
That's right. All day long, we have been using the hashtag SnowFox on social media. And these are just some of the photos that were sent to us earlier today on Twitter. Take a look at this one from Richie Weinbrenner. He sent us this photo on Dixie Highway. This is usually a road packed with cars. And you can see today it was just snow cover. Not a lot of cars out there today. Moving forward, you see a lot of kids outside sledding today. It's the perfect day to do that. They haven't been able to do that in a while. And scrolling forward, here's a view of St. Matthews earlier in today. A lot of those cars not moving, and that, of course, is a good idea because if you don't have to be out on the roadways, stay in. Moving forward, there's still some more photos that we want to show you as well of people out and about today taking some photos. Here is the 2nd Street Bridge. Take a look at this. Just amazing. This is usually packed with traffic in the mornings, and you can see earlier today, no traffic at all, just a lot of snow. And of course, you have been sending us the photos throughout the day, also on Facebook as well. And we want to see more photos from you. Use the hashtag SnowFox, and we will have much more photos coming up in this newscast. Tamara Evans, WDRB News.
Tamara, thank you. I'm standing inside Louisville's emergency hub. What local schools, police, fire, and public works are all saying about this major snow event in Louisville on the other side of this break.
Thank you, Gilbert. And here's a look at I-64 West near Cannons Lane. Our roving crews are out and about, and we will be for the next 30 minutes and throughout our newscast today. Keeping an eye on the road conditions. Lots of snow still on I-64, as you can see. And as snow continues to fall, some tree limbs and power lines might get weighted down. If you see any of this, report any outages or down lines to LG&E at the number there on your screen, 589-1444.
Still lots of snow out there, slow go on a lot of roads, but as we've been seeing, conditions have been improving on some of those interstates.
And hopefully they will continue to. The snow's still coming down. So far, Mark Weinberg tells us Louisville has about 7 inches.
That's the official snowfall total from the airport now. In Louisville, we're getting reports as high as 10 inches of snow in the southern part of the county. I could tell you, when I left, I was close to around 7 at my house, and it was continuing to come down. Now, I think the question then comes up, how does this compare to last winter? How does this compare virtually to our normal winters? Is this a normal snowfall winter? Well, since you ask, all right, I'll be honest, I asked the question, but I'm going to go ahead and answer it. 12.1 inches now, that's what it puts us at for this year. Our normal should be 12.5. What I'm telling you is this a normal snow year for Louisville? Last year, 25.5. Last year was not a normal snow year for Louisville. A pretty impressive year, as all of us remember last year. Now, do you remember last year being cold? I do too. And I remember specifically early January being cold. You probably do too. What I will tell you is this week is going to be colder than anything we saw at all last year. We've got a winter storm warning in effect until 1 a.m. This covers every county in our area. We'll see after the snow ends if the Weather Service starts to pull the plug on some of those. We still actually have accumulating snow in our area. In Louisville, I don't think there's a whole lot left over, but I think North Vernon, Seymour, Owen, Bedford, Mitchell, I think you could catch an additional inch or two on the northern edge of the storm. Now, Louisville's going into that fine light snow that's occurring. South of Louisville, we're starting to wind down in Irvington, Hardinsburg, Litchfield. We got reports out of Grayson County of snowfall totals as high as 11.5 inches of snow from McQuady, from Big Clifty, from McDaniels. Buffalo, Kentucky measured 11.5. Latest report out of E-Town is 11 inches of snow. We go further off to the east, still snowing from Campbellsville through Greensburg. Columbia, you still have snow falling right now, and we continue with snow in Bardstown and Willisburg. Is Louisville done with the snow? Well, since you ask, there is still some snow in Mount Vernon, Illinois. So I do think we're going to see another burst of snow. I think another ½ an inch is possible, maybe an isolated inch for the city. Going forward, another chance of snow. I think some light accumulations on the table for late Tuesday into Wednesday. I'll talk about whether what kind of totals we're talking about, and then when we are going to blast record lows coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, it's a pretty bad situation. Socked in by snow and heading for record cold.
WDRB's Gilbert Coursey is in the Louisville Emergency Command Center where 70 eyes are watching the city. Gilbert.
Those 70 eyes coming in the form of traffic cameras in the Emergency Operations Center, or EOC, here for Louisville. I want you to take a look at 65 South. Brook Street looks like a ghost town minutes before 5 o'clock, and you can see no one on the freeway there. We have been briefed by emergency workers in about the last hour. The story from here, crashes in the city are up, stranded vehicles way up, but fortunately, no fatalities in Louisville from this major snow event. Now, while crews are salting and plowing right now, do not expect to see the pavement if you were in the public for quite some time.
That plowing run will be done at about 7 p.m. At that time, we're going to change shifts and bring in another shift that will do a combination plowing and salting run.
And that process will repeat over and over again because the snow that has fallen is just expected to freeze. Safety and schools are the big stories coming from here. Kerosene, the message from the public, kerosene heaters, space heaters. They know a lot of people are using them in their homes. A reminder not to leave them unattended. They are cautious about fires. Also, don't drive unless you have to. So if you do go out, make sure that you're taking jacket, extra blankets, and a first aid kit. And the final note for schools, JCPS Superintendent Donna Hargan's telling us at the top of the hour that schools, not only for JCPS, but Catholic schools, are canceled for tomorrow. The note that she had for children, read something. From the ELC, Gilbert Coursey, WDRB News.
Good way to pass the time. Thank you, Gilbert. And tracking roads across the metro is tough enough.
WDRB Stefan Johnson's in Frankfort, where crews are trying to clear and monitor thousands of state roads.
Good afternoon. We're in the central hub for emergency management. From here, officials can keep an eye on the entire state, from the weather to the roads. In every county across Kentucky, they have an idea of what's going on. The emergency management director is Michael Dossett. Michael, thanks for talking to us. First of all, what have you heard so far from the local governments around the state?
We have experienced a significant snowfall for the Commonwealth. Quite frankly, this will rank up at the top of the level of accumulation we've had in many, many years. The interstate system is impacted. The local roadways are impacted. What we'd ask from your listeners is to please be patient. We'd ask that if you don't have to travel for an emergency, stay home, stay inside, stay warm. But be patient, because this will take a number of days to work through. The interstate system will not be back at its best in a single day with a normal snowfall event. So our counties are doing well in terms of leveraging their resources. One of the positives we've received here in the EOC are many, many stories of local rescue squads, of local volunteers on four-wheelers getting medical personnel to the places they need to be. But in terms of our oversight here, we're at level 4 of a 5-level activation. Level 4 is one step above normal ops, and what we do at this point is we provide situational awareness to the counties, and we coordinate any request for assets.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael Dossett, for talking to us. As you heard, if you don't have to be out, we've been saying it, but it is true. Chances are good you will slide, or even worse, you could get stranded. In Frankfort, I'm Stefan Johnson, WDRB News.
Thanks, Stefan. A snowstorm so big, the Weather Channel comes to town.
WDRB's Rachel Collier shows us the nation has been watching this storm as it continues to hit our area. Rachel.
Good afternoon. It is almost eerie how quiet it is in downtown Louisville. Sometimes you'll hear or see a car pass by, but it is pretty much a ghost town. But the Weather Channel is here. A lot of people have been talking about that. Take a look at this video. You can see the big satellite truck set up on the Great Lawn on Louisville's waterfront park. This crew was in Nashville last night, but realized they needed to switch gears and get to Louisville. Meteorologist Maria LaRosa says it's been fun to watch the storm unfold in the Derby City.
It's been on our radar, so to speak, for a couple days now, and we knew that it was going to be impacting an area that has been sort of quiet this winter. And we originally were going to head to Nashville because of the snow kind of being centered around there. And then last few days, the computer models were nudging that sweet spot for the heaviest snow a little bit further north.
The crew will be leaving town tomorrow morning, and I know you've heard all day long, stay at home, don't get out on the roads. Well, in about 20 minutes, I'll introduce you to some people who did brave the roads to go out and have some fun in the snow. Reporting live from downtown Louisville, Rachel Collier, WDRB News.
Thanks, Rachel. Another thing we've been hearing all day long, drivers should avoid I-65.
Lots of problems there. Luckily, WDRB's Courtney Godfrey made it south to Elizabethtown before things got bad, and she's going to be staying there for the next 24 hours. Courtney, how are things there?
David, Elizabeth, I'd like to tell you that conditions are getting better down here in E-Town. And although the snow has let up a bit since earlier in the afternoon, road conditions are still pretty bad. As you can see, plows have been going up and down this main thoroughfare here in E-Town on Mulberry Street. But the asphalt, you still can't see it. It's still white. And in fact, you guys are talking a lot about driving slow. Well, in many of these cases, even driving slow won't help you, because if you take a look at where I'm standing, I mean, this is a parking lot that hasn't been plowed, but I am standing in a few inches of snow easily right here. So even if you are driving slow, there's a lot of snow to push around. We're driving a four-wheel drive and we're having trouble. We've been stuck a few times. I've pushed the car about 3 times now. KSP has said that I-65 between mile markers 94 and 102 is a big problem area. Cars keep going off the road and they keep getting stuck trying to go up that incline.
Approximately 75 individual calls of people that have had small accidents or have slidden off the roadways, mostly on I-65 or on the Bluegrass or Western Kentucky Parkway. And a lot of those calls involve multiple vehicles. So we've had well over 100 vehicles off the roadway.
KSP says they are all hands on deck right now and they are busy. So if you don't need to call 911, if you just want road conditions, please call 511. Live in E-Town, Courtney Godfrey, WDRB News.
Thank you, Courtney. And as we take you to break, we want to check the road conditions on 65 North, just across the river in southern Indiana. This is I-65 near Eastern Boulevard. The conditions are much the same there. You can see a little bit of the pavement in the far lane, but mostly snow covered on I-65 North near Eastern Boulevard. We'll continue to take you across the area as we're on the air, so don't go away. Weather updates and road conditions coming up in just a few minutes.
Live look outside some of the roads here. Obviously, we still have a lot of problems here. I think road conditions will improve. Honestly, this afternoon it was very bad, but we should see improvements here. Mike's looking at things right now. We'll have a report coming up here. Bradley Thomas sent me this picture of Case Thomas and his dad made an igloo today out of Paynesville, Kentucky. I thought that was awesome. I remember doing that as a kid. I so enjoyed it. John Catlett sent this picture, 7 inches of snow out of Mount Washington. This was as of 3:15, so those numbers have probably gone up here a little bit. And Amber Baker Horsley sent this picture here. You can see with the Snow Fox ruler out there. A lot of great pictures. Appreciate you sending them in. I'll show as many of them as I can. Last one here, Savannah Sharp. Look at this. In Louisville, on top of the table, a ton of snow out there. The winter storm warning, I told you the Weather Service would probably start to shave the edge. They are now. Notice near Evansville, they pulled it. It does officially go until 1 a.m. We'll probably see some adjustments here going forward. We still have this moderate band of snow that goes really basically just north of Jasper, extends from Mitchell, Bedford, and then through the North Vernon area. In Louisville, we're tapering now back to light snow showers. We go south of the city. At Litchfield, you've gotten a ton of snow, but it's coming down and lightning just a little bit. This extends through the Magnolia area. We still have snow in the Columbia area. Notice in Edmonton, Kentucky, still snow there moving in your direction, starting to gap a little bit near Bardstown as well. So we're seeing this winding down here just a little bit. We've got, though, to get this part of the upper level low through. So I'm going to keep a 70% chance through 7 p.m. I think a lot of the accumulations will be winding down here, though. Temperature right now 16. We have a northeast wind at 10 and our wind chill's 4. Now, that's not warm, but compared to where we're going, it is. You can see our temperatures right now in the mid-teens. Now, here's what's different. We have a major snowpack now in our area, and you can see snow shutting down by 7 p.m., but notice these temperatures. Blue are wind chills, white air temperatures. Notice these temperatures get really close to zero with wind chills tomorrow morning slightly below zero. Getting another front late on Tuesday. Now, this one really shows a good signal of producing snow showers or snow squalls late Tuesday and then again on Wednesday. And I'll tell you, I think this is a good candidate to catch a ½ an inch with some isolated totals on Wednesday up to an inch. But you'll notice on Wednesday with that cold air surging, these temperatures are frigid. By 5 p.m., 13 with a wind chill of 2 below zero. By 7 p.m. on Wednesday, the wind chill's 14 below zero. By 1 a.m. on Thursday, 21 below zero, and the air temperature is 10 below zero. Air temperature on Thursday morning with a wind chill of 25 below zero. Advanced track showing Campbellsville in the heart of the snowpack, 13 below zero air temperature, wind chill 27 below zero. As we look at the totals here, you know what, we're winding it down, so you kind of know by now, but E-Town, Campbellsville, Munfordville, Litchfield, you're going to be the big winner on this system. So we're going to go back to 4 degrees tonight. Snow tapers. Here's one thing I want to mention. I think some fog could form tonight over this snow. If it does, it would be frozen fog. It can make things slick, so we've got to watch that. Tomorrow afternoon, high comes in at 26 degrees. I think we're mostly cloudy tomorrow with a west wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour, then an Arctic front. So this one gives us a 50% chance of light snow late on Tuesday. On Wednesday, a 60% chance. Could see up to an inch in some locations. Record cold on Thursday and Friday with 7 below zero my low on Thursday. Friday's 8 below zero. And by the weekend, Mike, we're watching a storm system Saturday into Sunday. There's still some questions here, but the data does show that some icing or some snow could occur. We've got to watch that one. Mike, these record lows will thrash records. 7 to 8 degrees colder than we've ever been on those dates.
All right. Thanks, Mark. And speaking of shattering records, we had numerous crashes reported out through the metro this morning and through the afternoon, more than they've had in a very, very long time. It's mainly due to the road conditions that we have, or the deterioration of the road conditions. Let's take a look around the area. I want to show you some of these camera shots here. This is one of our better looking roads right now. 65 southbound looks a little bit better across the Kennedy as opposed to the northbound lanes. And then we've had traffic has been a little heavy. Here's Hospital Curve, north and south 65. We actually see a little bit of pavement on both directions of 65, so that's very good news. And then we get over to the Shawnee Expressway, and I don't know if we've had a plow hit here in a while. This is out near River Park. So once again, if you don't have to be out today, do not be out. The driving conditions are still very, very hazardous. From the Oxmoor Auto Group Traffic Center, I'm Mike Marshall with Beat the Traffic.
All right, thanks, Mike. And if you don't have to be out, don't. As we've been saying, there's a live look at Highlander Point, southern Indiana, Floyd's Knobs. As the sun goes down, so do those temperatures. Find out how low they will go.
And now a Point of View guest editorial.
1 year ago, I decided to start the foster parent process. My goal was not only to help the child I received, but find ways to improve the system overall. But after 9 months of having a foster child, I can tell you firsthand that this system is broken. I certainly didn't expect fostering to be easy, and I knew from the start that the child in my care would have certain needs beyond those of the average child. But what I didn't expect was the frustration that comes from dealing with a system in which so many people are simply in it for the money. Because of so many unqualified and uncaring foster parents, all the others must endure so much intrusive oversight and overly rigid rules that those who really want to make a difference simply can't. And in many cases, the bureaucrats overseeing the system are little better than the people they supposedly supervise. Clearly, if more capable people with truly good intentions would step up to be foster parents, the unqualified money grubbers would no longer be needed. And maybe those operating the system could spend less time operating as police and more time exploring ways in which to really help these children. If that makes sense to you, please take the time to look into what it takes to become a foster parent. If enough caring people step forward to replace the uncaring, the possibilities for real improvement in these kids' lives will be limitless. I'm Charlene Shipley, and that's my point of view.
Shot from our live roving camera right now. Looks like it's frozen. Oh, no, it's not. Heading across the Kennedy Bridge into Louisville right now.
This situation is pretty bad no matter where you're traveling from southern Indiana down to Elizabethtown. We want to check in with WDRB's Emily Muir. She is in Floyd County right now where there is a travel advisory in effect. And I saw you tweeting earlier. It's hard to talk because your face is frozen and hard to tweet because your fingers are frozen.
Elizabeth, it's true. It is so cold. I actually have 6 layers on top, 4 on bottom, and I'm still freezing. And we just had an Indiana State Police trooper stop by our live shot, and he said they have been extremely busy. They've responded to at least 18 slide-offs in this area, and the Floyd County Sheriff told me they've responded to at least 12 slide-offs. So I'm glad to report that no injury accidents have happened in Floyd County, but a lot of people are getting stuck, and they say that you aren't supposed to be on the roads unless it is an emergency. So they want you to heed that warning, and that travel advisory will likely go into tomorrow. I also want to mention here at Highlander Point, the only businesses open are really the gas station and the JC here. So some of those banks might reopen tomorrow, but really if you want to get out, the only place to go here, if you have to, is the gas station or the JC. So try to stay home if you can. It's just dangerous on the roads. Live in Floyd's Knobs, Emily Muir, WDRB News.
Thank you, Emily. Get warm, and we want to show you what it looks like in Okolona. This is a look at Preston Highway in Okolona right now. We've been giving you a look at roads and interstates across the area for the last hour and a half, and as you can see, it's still treacherous out there, snow-covered roads, and people are asking you to stay in. There's a state of emergency in Kentucky right now. Governor Beshear asking everyone to stay off the roads. And as the sun goes down, so will the temperatures. How low they'll go next.
And I think lottery officials probably would agree you should not go out just to buy a lottery ticket as long as you buy it by tomorrow, when the drawing will be worth $50 million for the Mega Millions, $88 million for Powerball on Wednesday.
We're building a better world at Time Warner Cable.
How about a movie?
Mm-hmm. And we know finding what you want to watch can sometimes feel like this. So we invented this. Now you can click the On Demand button to browse our library of 19,000 movies and shows better with our simplified On Demand channel. Whatever you're passionate about, Time Warner Cable invents better ways to love it even more. Get our new On Demand, free with your Time Warner Cable subscription. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
We've served our country well with dedicated military service, but now because of an injury, traumatic stress, or even exposure to toxic chemicals, your ability to serve has been limited. If you've been disabled in any way during your service and have been denied any percentage of your VA benefits, call the Carl Truman Law Office at 222-2222. Don't give up. We may be able to get you the VA benefits you deserve.